All right, hello. Hope people are doing well today. Today we'll be playing a little bit of the life and suffering of Sir Brant. And I know that I had Glitch. Welcome. How are you? How are you today? How are you? I know that yesterday I was talking about. Let's see if this game actually pops up. Please, game. No. Okay, there we go. Whew. So I know yesterday when that's a bit loud. When I was playing Monster Hunter, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play Monster Hunter tomorrow and all of that stuff. But I've come to realize that my team is actually a little bit underleveled for what I'm trying to do. So I may play a little bit of Monster Hunter off stream and try to get myself to a decent level where I can continue the story properly. But how are you going, Glitch? How are you going? How have you been? How have you been? I know that I haven't been streaming too much recently, but it's good to see you back, and I hope you're having. It must be pretty late for you, but I hope you're having a wonderful time today. All right, so we can continue our story here, playing as the most venerable Tooru Brante, and we are now currently an adolescent, an edgy teenager. I've been drawing. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, oh wow, this is louder than I thought it would be. So. Let's see if we, yeah, let's put down the sound and the music just a little bit more. So when you say you've been drawing, are you talking about commissions, or are you talking about, just drawing in your free time? I think both are fine. Both are definitely more than fine. And I hope it's going well for you. I hope it's going well for you. But it's definitely a passion, yeah. Commissions, very good, very good. I'm glad that you're getting commissions and you're getting requests and that sort of thing. So hopefully that's turning out well for you. It's kind of funny. The stream times don't necessarily work out that well, but I do lurk your streams sometimes, and like I have a lot of respect for people who do draw and who especially stream their process, because I know that in any creative field, the idea of showing what you do live, I know it can be daunting. I know it can be pretty nerve-wracking at times. So lots of respect for you, streaming the process, because it's instructive, and again, I just have a lot of respect, because it is not necessarily easy, to stream what you do for a living in front of, a lot of people. So much respect. No, your streams are very comfy. Your streams are very comfy, actually. I do, you usually have a really nice playlist. It's very chill, and you're just shooting the breeze, just chatting. It's good stuff. It's comfy. It's very comfy, Glitch. JP, welcome. How are you today, JP? We're playing Brant today. I know you were here yesterday, and I was all, oh, we're gonna play Monster Hunter. But no, I've changed my mind. We're gonna play Brant today, and that's because I'm a little underleveled in Monster Hunter. So I want to play a little bit of that off stream, get myself to a stronger level, maybe get some new monsties, and then we can get back to that to continue the story. So, we are here with Sir Brant today, Sir Tooru Brant, in this very very wonderful setting. The nobleman's lot. A great day looms ahead. 100 years ago, Uther Tempest was anointed to rule over the empire. Blessed by the twins themselves, the emperor's reign continues into its second wow! This guy's lived for a very long time. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine living for that long? I know that... Look, okay, speaking as a turtle, turtles have very, very long lives, but once you reach the end of your life, once you get to the latter parts of your life, let's just say I wouldn't want the responsibility of ruling an empire for more than 2 centuries. That's a long time to be alive, guys. That's a long time to be alive. Leveling off stream makes sense. I will need to pick up meds in the next hour. Well, I hope you're feeling better soon once you take those meds, JP. You know, taking your meds is always a good thing. So hopefully, you know, I don't know what's ailing you at the moment. Maybe like it's an infection or like a cold or something along those lines. But I hope the meds help. I hope the meds help. Celebrations in honor of the Tempest dynasty are held throughout the city, and the school is closed for 2 weeks because of that. On one of these evenings, Father tells everyone that Grandfather is going to bring Stefan back home for the holiday. They say that families should celebrate the Day of Anointment together. You could benefit from your elder brother's company. With his noble education, Stefan might be able to teach you how noblemen are supposed to act. I don't know about that. If you've seen my previous Brante streams, I'm not a huge fan of my older brother here. He's kind of a dick. He's kind of an asshole. So, you know, not the bit. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy here. He's so smug, so self-assured. No humility. How are you going, Kenjo? How are you going today? How's your day been? Soon, Stefan arrives. He now handles himself differently. When it comes to ordering servants around and ignoring Gloria, he is still Grandfather's double, but he is more grown up now and far less haughty to you. Very nice. Okay, so he's learnt a little bit of humility, guys. It is a dark winter evening. A damp, cold wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands of Magra. You and Stefan are sitting in the library. He's telling you all about Eterna, the capital of the Empire. It is full of so many wonders: the Imperial Palace, the enormous Temple of the Twins, the Military Academy, the Imperial College. You have read so much about these places, yet he has seen them firsthand. Nathan enters the library. He looks concerned. I can't find Gloria. I looked everywhere. She's not in the attic, not in the sitting room, not in the kitchen. I heard she wanted to sneak off to the ruins of Char, Milonitis' palace. She could... Oh, jeez. Gloria, you troublemaker. That's no good. That is no good. She could be lost in there. It's for damaged skin around the eyes, says JP. I accidentally left the first tube in the Netherlands. Ah, okay. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate, you know. I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, though, right? I guess with the damaged skin around your eyes, you couldn't see the first tube when you left it there. Sorry. That was bad. That was pretty bad. You and Stefan exchanged looks. Char Milonitis, the rebellious duke. The ruins of his palace are a dangerous place. Some children claim his tainted magic still lingers there, which means you absolutely have to make your way there and back again to prove you're not afraid of the long-dead witch. Your brother tells you to wait. He leaves and soon returns with his sword in his sheath. Oh, here we go. We are now bros. Get ready, Tooru. We're going to rescue Gloria. She must have gone to the ruins in search of inspiration for another one of her little rhymes. Oh, okay. Maybe I shit-talked Stefan a little too soon. He seems like he's maturing into a good older brother. The two of you instruct Nathan to tell your parents you've gone for a walk in the square. You and your elder brother head outside. By the way, JP, so damaged skin around the eyes, is that like, is that like a long-term condition, or is that like an allergy caused by the weather or something along those lines? That seems kind of concerning. That seems a little concerning. So I hope you're okay with that, you know, and I assume like you would just be going to the pharmacy, or would your medication and the tube be prescribed by the doctor? That is a bit concerning. I hope that turns out okay for you. I make jokes and I make bad puns, but legitimately, I hope it's alright. You are confused by Stefan's actions. He refuses to treat Gloria like a human being. So why is he so determined to rescue her? Stefan notices your expression. Are you wondering why I care about Gloria all of a sudden? I can't act in any other way, can I? The law of honor compels me to protect my family. Gloria will never be a Brante, but father still took her into our house. I must respect his seniority and defend Gloria like she is one of our own. You are a Brante too, noble or not, which means it is your duty to aid me. It's nothing bad. I just want to have it ready on the weekend. Okay, that's not too bad then. The ruins of Char Milonitis' palace span an entire district. Wow, big place, big place. Oh, okay, so he's a duke. It's a palace, I get it, but like, do you need that much space? The palace was abandoned centuries ago and its remnants are overgrown with thick underbrush. The ruined palace is empty. Nothing but cold wind blowing over the crumbling brickwork. Even the worst scum of this land steer clear of this place. You make your way through the ruins until you spot scattered sheets of paper covered in writing. Your sister's writing. You hear loud laughter coming from behind a dilapidated stone wall nearby. You pull yourself up to peer over it. Oh no. Gloria is lying on the ground, face down, twitching and sobbing. Oh no. No, Gloria, please be okay. A gaggle of drunk young thugs surround her, cackling and swinging their arms. Oh no. You hear their shouts. Look at the lass sitting here rhyming words together. She thinks she's all a noble, but don't you worry, you low-born tart. We're gonna teach you your place. One of the louts spits at Gloria as she lies there. This is a brutal setting. Get away from her this instant, you bastards, or I'll spill your guts. They respond with a mocking laughter. Stefan draws his sword. The street thugs recoil in fear, but they soon notice that he is only one-armed man against many. They start reaching out for sticks and stones. Stay by my side. Don't let them flank me. Alright, well, we're gonna do this. Stefan's hand shakes, but he looks ready for battle. He is outnumbered. For a moment, you hesitate. Perhaps it might be better to run for the nearby district and call for the guards. The young thugs are already armed with makeshift weapons. They start approaching you and Stefan cautiously. So we can charge the attackers. We can follow our brother's orders. Or we can call the guards. Now, what I'll say here is that charging the attackers, maybe. But then, you know, the idea is that we're not going to leave our brother, you know? So I think, lose willpower. Charge the attackers is also good. But no, we're going to do the noble thing here, guys. Because Tooru is of noble soul and soon to be noble stock. So we're going to follow our brother's orders and we're going to make sure that none of these dirty street thugs get close to him. There we go. We'll be using the last of our willpower to do it, but I think it's necessary. Stefan's firm voice fills you with confidence. You follow your noble brother's orders. It takes a moment to grab a stick, and then you are at Stefan's back, angrily swinging at the louts as they try to bring him down. One of the louts lunges at your brother with a stone, but you hit him with the stick, and he falls down right at Stefan's feet. His sword flashes. The blade sinks deep into the young man's stomach. He wheezes. Blood starts pouring onto the ground. Oh my god. He stabbed him. He just flat out killed him. The thugs freeze. Stefan pulls out the sword, his face an inscrutable mask, and returns to his fighting stance. Wow. You are stunned to see Stefan take another man's life so easily and effortlessly, like picking his own teeth. Yeah, it's like a toothpick. Like steaks on a grill. The thugs look like they are about to flee. There is rage and confusion on their faces. They never expected the young nobleman to use the sword. Stefan just scoffs at them. Hey, let's go Stefan. Let's go Stefan, defending the family's honor and just murdering that thug. He has military training after all. Yo, go get them, Stefan. Yes. Well, he does have military training. That's the thing. That's actually pretty important, right? Because he has training, so he's probably been put in pressure situations, so he doesn't seem, you know, he doesn't feel like this is too stressful for him. Like, he can handle this. Lowborn scum, that's all you are. This is the only language you understand. Good job, brother. Gloria, get up. We're going home. He turns to glance at your sister, just giving the enraged thugs enough time to rush you. You are separated from Stefan. Your back is against the wall now. They hit you hard in the stomach, then the face, then the... Oh no! They're going after me? What did I do? I'm not the guy with the sword. What the heck? Why are they going after me? Then your mind slips away. When the darkness disperses, you find yourself lying at your bed. Stefan is in the armchair next to you, reading a book. He is alive, with left arm in a sling and a black eye, but still alive. Your head is spinning, and you feel nauseous. You try your best to sit up. Stefan looks from the book. Don't try to get up. You lost a lot of blood. I suppose that was a few thugs too many for a single warrior, even with good backup. I'm impressed. Okay, Stefan, whatever. We fought like an army. The noble orders, the commoner obeys, all according to our lots. We defended the family's honor together, you know, brother. The nobleman's lot is also a great burden that few are able to bear. It takes courage, not to fight everything you see, but to do your duty. Each and every decision a nobleman makes becomes part of his family's legacy, flowing in the blood tide forever. I think about it often. A noble mustn't act weak. A noble mustn't suffer like the people of the lowborn lot. A noble must rule over them wisely. A nobleman must ensure that they have work to do. It's not merely your own lot you have to look after. You have to ensure that 1,000 others can live by their lot as well. And there are so many more matters to take care of. Honor, dignity, tradition. It's tough, but it's what it takes to be a nobleman. Do you understand what I'm talking about, Tooru? There is approval in your brother's eyes for the first time in a long while. Ah, so we've earned his respect. It was a pleasure to fight side by side, brother. Yes, yes. Very nice, very nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. Unfortunately, we've expended all our willpower. We're too tired to do anything else. So we're going to have to like gain back our willpower in future events. So there we go. We were able to navigate that pretty well. We're able to improve our relations with our older brother and save our sister. So we did a good job there, I think, guys. Before long, the entire city hears how a gang of lowborn thugs assaulted Stefan Brante. Oh, wow. Nice. That's the power of nobles, right? Okay, so here's the thing, right? These lowborn thugs, if they had, you know, if they had done some unspeakable things to your sister, and as well, if they had... Because they did beat the shit out of you as well, right? They beat the shit out of you. If they did something to your sister, there's no justice, right? There's no justice involved because you are a commoner and that is your lot. But because Stefan got assaulted, then, you know, then the hammer goes down. Then Grandfather Brante, you know, brings his sword and, you know, off with their heads. So... I mean, that's just how it is in this world, right? Grandfather ensures that the brash young men are found. Some of them are taken into custody as soon as lesser death releases them. Grandfather seeks vengeance on those who hurt his favorite grandson. Prefect Elborn, a friend of your family, promises to personally oversee the trial and ensure that justice is served. Stefan and Grandfather decide to stay in Anazot until the trial ends. Grandfather demands true death for every single assailant. That's kind of rough. Like, okay, so to explain a little something about this setting, you can die 3 times. Ghoulish, welcome. Welcome, Ghoulish. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing today? To explain a little something, nya hi. Nya hello. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. No, but how are you going, Ghoulish? How are you going? To explain a little something about the setting, you can die up to 3 times in this setting because you're revived over and over by the gods of the setting, which are the twins, right? And then when Grandfather says that he demands true death for every single assailant, what that means is that Grandfather demands that the assailants get killed multiple times until they don't come back to life, which is like 4 times, which, you know, it's like 4 consecutive life sentences all at once. That's rough. That's rough. I'm good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Hopefully you're having a wonderful, I think it would be evening for you right now. Because from memory, you're from Singapore, right? So hopefully you're having a lovely evening. Hopefully you're having a lovely evening. Maybe eating a nice dinner or something along those lines. You ask father to explain something. How can a legal court sentence criminals to true death? How can worldly judgment overrule the twins' law? Your words are true, my son. Their law is second to none. Yet the twin gods also made the empire and all its ways. The court of law exists to execute the laws of heaven here in the world. Should the court of law sentence a person to death, the law high above will always enforce it. And so, every execution brings true death. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. The commoners who assaulted Stefan, a born nobleman, have committed a grave offense. There is no doubt about that. And yet, according to the Emperor's decree, even commoners have the right to defend themselves when they are about to face true death. That means all of us will have to appear at the trial and testify before the court. Evening comes. Gloria visits your room. She looks crestfallen and her fingers keep reaching for her long hair. You put away your school books and ask what's bothering her. The trial is tomorrow, Tooru. I thought I was going to appear there too, as an eyewitness. After all, this whole mess started because of me. But Sir Robert isn't even going to mention that I was there. Can you imagine? He says it would ruin the case. Okay, we'll drive now. Hope I make it back quick. No worries, JP, no worries. Hope your trip to the pharmacy, I think it would be. Hope your trip to the pharmacy goes well. Nothing eventful, and that you're back here, you know, sooner rather than later. Maybe you're being a little bit selfish, you know. Please come back. But yeah, I hope your drive goes well. Why am I always in the way? Nobody ever mentions me. Nobody has to listen to me. It's like I don't even exist. And I thought Stefan standing up for me finally meant something. Maybe I'll become part of the family. But no, everything is back to usual now. Gloria tries her best to hold back the tears. You do your best to comfort her. Father just needs to keep the family. So this is a rough situation, right? Because this whole situation started because Gloria was assaulted by the thugs. But now our father wants to pretend that she wasn't even there to ensure that the criminals, that the assailants, will be charged and executed properly. Now that's a bit of a problem because, you know, we're denying Gloria her justice. But at the same time, if she gets involved, if we contradict everybody else's testimony, then, you know, it puts the entire case into jeopardy, which means that the perpetrators might not be punished. And so that really makes it difficult because we have to juggle, right? We have to juggle the idea of justice from the perspective of retribution and punishing the assailants and saying to society that that these acts are not acceptable. But then we have to weigh that against the idea that the victim has the right to their voice, you know? And that's a really tough subject. That's a really tough subject. Like, thankfully, it's not so bad in the current world that we live in. Like, it's not this bad. But in a world like this where, you know, if you're not a noble, then you basically don't have any rights, then it's tough. Then it's tough because we have to balance Gloria's voice and Gloria's own justice by being able to express what happened to her, and then justice in retribution in terms of the assailant. So that's a really tough flashpoint. If Sir Robert believes that I only bring trouble, why did he take me into the house at all? Gloria runs away. You return to your books, but you can't help but get lost in thought. What if they told the court you weren't there either? How would you feel then? There is a knock at the door. It is father. He closes the door behind him and sits next to you. There is an exhausted look about him. I feel sorry for Tooru's father because, like, yes, you know, he does some dickish things, but, like, he tries his best, right? He tries his best with the hand he was dealt. Gloria will cast suspicion on the case. If we mention her very existence to the court, the reputation of the family will suffer. Your grandfather will never forgive me if that happens. Do not let me down. We are all counting on you. You recall the night of the fight like it was a moment ago. Gloria sprawled under the feet of those cackling thugs. Her poetry, her greatest treasure, scattered on the ground. She thinks she's all noble. Those were the words. They spat down on her. But doesn't grandfather mean the same thing when he denies that she's part of the family? That's true. That's very true. But if you do what father will tell you, the trial will end quickly. Those commoners will face true death for assaulting a noble. If you mention Gloria, things will get complicated and you cannot predict how the trial will end. Which is more important to you? What is right or what is just? So that, yeah, exactly. What is right or what is just? And then... This is a bit difficult because we don't have the capacity to make father change his mind, you know? Well, we can't make father change his mind. Okay, so this is tough. I don't know what to do for this. Like, Tooru is a family guy. But then on one hand, we're like with father, and then the other hand, we're like against father. So this is tough. This is tough. Gray area choices. Welcome, Kathleen. Hope you're doing well. But yes, it is tough because on one hand, it is very, very wrong. Very, very wrong to deny Gloria's existence. She's part of the family. She's part of the family and she deserves to have a voice. But if we do that, then, you know, the assailants who were trying to do unspeakable things to her might get away with their crimes because of the society that we live in. So that's really tough. So we have to choose, like, is it more important to be right or is it more important to be just? And I actually don't know where to go with this. I don't know. Like, from a metagaming perspective, I think both are kind of valid. Right? Unity, but then reputation. Oh man, I think I may just. I wish I had the willpower to change my father's mind. I really wish, but unfortunately, I don't have the willpower anymore because I used the willpower to defend Stefan and make sure that, you know, we were able to defend Gloria earlier. And so that's the tough part of this game, because this would be the ideal for me, that we talk to father directly and convince him that it is more important to acknowledge Gloria's existence, because I don't what to do? Okay. I'm gonna hold on. I'm going to do the most objective way, the most objective method of determining very difficult choices in life. So guys, if you ever come across a flashpoint in your lives where there is two incredibly difficult choices in front of you and it could change your life forever, you know, this is something that definitely may help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a coin. And we are going to flip a coin. So, heads, we support father. Tails, we support Gloria. Roke, welcome back. How are you doing? You're on the path to being a noble. You're not progressive enough in your past actions? Potentially yes. But this particular decision doesn't really bear any, like, consequences for being a noble, I don't think. So, heads, we side with Gloria. Tails, we side with father. Okay, it's tails. It's tails. Okay, tails it is. So we'll support. Tails it is. I don't like this choice, but I don't like any choice. So support father. Okay. You nod in agreement. You will follow your family's plan for the trial to the letter. A faint smile appears on Father's fatigued face. Thank you, son. This is an important case for our family and for me as well. I appreciate your... We live in a society. How are you doing, Rook? How are you doing, Rook? And Cathalane, how are you doing today? Sorry that I'm not playing Monster Hunter Stories. I did want to play it, but I recognize that I probably need to do some like off-stream leveling, and there's like a few things that I want to do off-stream as well in regards to like cleaning up my stable and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be doing that off-stream, and then when I get back to Monster Hunter Stories on stream, then it will be like a lot more organized and we'll be ready to just go through the story. The day comes. The trial takes place in the lesser hall of the city prefecture. Sir Elborn himself presides as the judge. You are seated next to Father and Stefan. You testify to the court one after another. You echo your brother's testimony to the letter. The young commoners insulted you as you were both walking by the ruins. Then they assaulted you. Stefan defended you. The lives of the 4 thugs are forfeit. Less tired today. Good to hear. Good to hear that you're less tired today. Fingers crossed you're able to, you know, keep up that momentum and, you know, get a little bit more sleep and that sort of thing. And part of the reason for that, right? Part of the reason for that is just the way that sleep debt works. As an expert, as an expert on sleep debt, it doesn't just go away after one day, you know? It doesn't just go away after one day. Like, it sticks with you, it stays for days, and it collects interest. So, you know, it's not good when you only sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night. You know, when you're doing sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, when you have a full-time job and you have a 50-minute commute back and forth, and, you know, as you're driving to work on certain long stretches of road that are sort of quiet, you know, your eyes get sort of tired, and then you sort of like tilt the steering wheel a little bit, and then the wheels sort of like, you know, like the little tracks, there's like the sort of tracks that act as dividers between the 2 lanes of the road, and then the car just goes, and then you jolt awake, you know. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Me personally, I wouldn't know what that's like. Wouldn't be me. But but no, you don't want that kind of situation. You don't want that kind of situation, Kathleen. So, you know, be sure to look after yourself. Be sure to look after yourself and get as much sleep as you need. Sir Elborn rises to deliver the sentence. The court of Anizot judges you guilty of assaulting Stefan Brante, a nobleman. All 4 defendants are sentenced to true death by hanging. Whoa. The most terrifying moment. Oh no. Don't tell me you understand, Glitch. Oh no. Oh boy. No, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. Had that when I was a supervisor and had back-to-back closings with 5 a.m. Oh, 5 a.m. inventory. Oh no. Inventory is terrible. So, yeah. The good thing is where I work, we only do like inventory or stock taking once a year, because I don't work in the particular department that needs to worry about stock take, like the monthly stock take, but we do stock taking once every year. And what we need to do for that is like everybody needs to be there like 5 a.m. as well. So everybody is there at 5 a.m., which means that, you know, I leave home at like 4 a.m. or whatever just to get there on time. And the annoying thing is that like we don't get time off in the afternoon. We don't get to go home early. So like we start our workday at 5 a.m. and then we're like going around everywhere, taking stock, and that usually takes a few hours, right? But the thing is that because we don't get to go home early, everybody is just completely gassed by 11 a.m. So like at 11 a.m., 11:30, everybody, everybody's just sitting in their chairs. I have a wagey office job, but everybody's just sitting in their chairs and they're just done with life. You know, they're done with life. You know, I could fall asleep right now and not wake up, and that would be the good. You know, that would be ideal. But no. They're like, I sympathize. I sympathize. Inventory days are rough. They're rough. Do not wish that on anybody. But unfortunately, they have to be done, right? They have to be done. So, pain, yeah, pain, definitely. There is no wind, but you feel a gust sweep throughout the hall. The defendants turn pale. Their mothers are bawling and crying. Everybody in the court feels the dreadful power of the law. And it is stern and just. That very power has been invoked by this sentence. And by that very sentence, the lives of the 4 young men are literally forfeit for all eternity. Oh. Oh my goodness. That's... Ah, look at that. Like, they're completely covered in... Oh. Ugh. That's nasty. The gallows awaits. Stefan and grandfather stand in the front row. The wood creaks. The trapdoors fall under the young men's feet. They dangle in the air. Am I allowed to show this on Twitch? This is pretty brutal. They dangle in the air, wheezing and reaching out for support with their feet in their final moments. Father lets out an inaudible sigh of relief. It is all over now. Yeah. For these young 4 men, it's over, all right. When Gloria comes back home the day after, she refuses to eat dinner and locks herself in her room. Before she leaves, however, you notice a scratch on her face and her hair is disheveled. You go to her room and knock at the door, but she will not open. Then she finally replies, she has already gone to bed and you should leave. Did you do the right thing by your sister? Or did you do the right thing during the trial? No, we didn't, but... It's complicated, alright? Don't judge me, game. It wasn't an easy decision. Your sister is still being bullied. No one knows she has a family to defend her, and Gloria does not want to be defended now. Those 4 commoners saw no mercy. Their lives ended for assaulting a nobleman. What did you seek to prove with this, and to whom? Was it worth it in the end? Stop judging me. I didn't like that decision. Stop judging me. I don't like... Oh, there's no unity in this family anymore, guys. No unity. Oh. Pain. Definite pain. Alright. We are now 14 years old. 14. Stefan leaves soon after the trial. Alone, grandfather does not go with him. For the first time in the long while, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs rest. Ill, you say? Permanently ill? Several months go by and it becomes clear that grandfather will not recover. The eldest Brante is mostly bedridden now. Hey, I don't mind that. Gregor has been a massive asshole this whole time, so you know what? I'm not too upset that he's struggling. He's mostly bedridden now. On some days, he has trouble recognizing people. When he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your father's name. But when he does get out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in her chambers. You and Nathan run outside or hide quietly in your rooms. If grandfather sees anyone in the hallway, he begins lamenting. Oh, nobody heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. Children have no respect. His son betrayed him and let him down. And oh, how the Brante family has lost its honor. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Again and again, you hear grandfather knocking at mother's door, screaming that it is all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. He blames her for dooming him to suffer at the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one night. Mother begs father to move Sir Gregor to his old home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses her outright. It is late. The hot, dry winds... Look at that face. Look at that face. That is... That's a bit of a freaky face. The house is empty, save for you, Nathan, Gloria, mother, and grandfather in his bed. Father has left for the capital and business. You are engrossed in the history of the empire, snapping out of your reverie. Only when the clock strikes midnight, you blow out the candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see light in the hallway. Grandfather? What could he want in the middle of the night? You peek into the hallway once he is past. Grandfather's figure sways as he heads for the door to mother's chambers. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him say something quietly. Your unease is stronger than your fear now. You sneak closer to hear his words. Wait. Is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do? You foul commoner, I need to. I have to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You are my greatest sin. You and what you have done to Robert and this family. I should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from tainting this house by your presence. Why, oh why didn't I do it? Please, Sir Brante, I beg of you, silence. You will do my bidding. Wait. Fire will cleanse all low-born filth from this place. Fire and flame will free Robert from this disgrace. This is for my son's sake. For my son's sake. For my sake. I need to eradicate this low-born filth. The twins, they are calling for me now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I beg of you, please have mercy. Mother begins to cry. You run into the room, unable to stay out of this any longer. Grandfather's gaunt figure looms over Mother's bed, a lit oil lamp in his hand. Mother is sprawled out on the bed, crying. Please, just let me warn the children. I beg of you, Sir Brante. Your steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you. Stay out of this, Tooru. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me no longer. I see only my sins now, and a sinner I am. A sinner! The twins, they forgive no one. They will judge me by the pillar. I must do something. I don't want to suffer for all eternity. Go away. Mother is crying. Grandfather is looming over... why can't I stop him? Grandfather is still looming over the bed. Driven to madness, his hand shakes as it clutches the oil lamp. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes this has to be done. You are suddenly torn. What if he is right? What if that is the only way for his soul to find salvation? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about his damn soul. He had so many chances in this life to be a better person, to be a nice family-oriented guy, but at every step, at every turn, he proved himself unworthy of salvation. So no, he can go fuck himself in his, in his senility. I have zero sympathy for Gregor Brante. There is no going back now. You have but a moment to act. Unfortunately, I can't stop him. Unfortunately, I can't stop him. Okay. Let it all happen as grandfather wishes. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. No. I mean, like at this point... Like at this point, all I can do is run away to rescue Nathan and Gloria. Because I can't stop grandfather. But and I'm definitely not going to just let him do what he wishes. But the only option, suffering is in the title. Getting enough of it yet? No. I'm not done suffering, Rogue. I'm not done suffering. I need more. I embrace it. It hurts so good. No, the only thing we can do here is to run away and to rescue Nathan and Gloria. So, we can at least save our siblings. That's what we'll do. You turn around and run for your brother and sister. Grandfather's prayers and mother's sobbing drive you to run faster. You wake up Nathan and Gloria and lead them out of their rooms and the house without any explanation. You hear mother's shrill cry of despair from the porch. A second-floor window shatters. Oh my god. A body in a nightgown drops to the floor. Then another cry of despair. An old man's cry. You cover your brother's eyes to hide from the sight of him. The second floor of the estate has caught fire. Gloria runs for the neighbors. You take Nathan's hand and go to Thomas's house. Thomas, our bro. Neighbors and servants flock to the house to put out the fire. Together, you manage to extinguish the flames before the first floor is engulfed. The second floor, however, has been reduced to ash. You watch Mother's body turn to dust and fly away with the sparks. Nathan is crying. Gloria hugs him and says that everything is fine. I don't have an image for the. Oh, hold on. No, I don't have the image for this. You know, you guys know that that meme image of like the dog sipping coffee and then like the whole house is on fire and then he just goes, "Yeah, this is fine." You know, that's how I feel. This is right now. You know, this is how I feel right now. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a. Hold on. Can I not take screenshots here? Okay, well, we'll do that. His charred body. So, grandfather died? Yeah. Thomas's family gives you refuge for tonight. So, his charred body is taken to the family crypt in the morning. Gregor Brante has died his true death. Good. You know what? Good. You go there to look at him. His face is covered by the cloth, hiding its expression. Did Gregor Brante finally find solace at the pillar amongst the flames in his final living moments? Or did he die as he lived, an embittered soul driven mad because he could never truly live by his lot? Either way, life has changed. His burden no longer weighs heavy upon your family. For a moment, you are overcome with your rage. Hot tears start rolling down your cheeks. Maybe this Tooru, but not me. Not me. And this is it. You will never be able to prove anything to him now. All your future triumphs, all your words of defiance, grandfather will never hear them. He will never see you grow up. You hear a heavy door clang in the corner of the crypt. Out comes Mother, wrapped in a black cape. She is reborn. She looks around in surprise as she leaves the cold stone walls behind, then finally notices you. My son! Nathan? Gloria? What happened to them? You briskly wipe your face and comfort her. No one else died that night. It is hard to speak, like something is clutching at your throat. When Mother sees grandfather's charred remains, she closes her eyes with a deep sigh, then shakes so violently she falls to her knees. Then she starts whispering something. You recognize it. It is a prayer of gratitude to the twins. We have to remember, guys, we have to remember that our poor mother has been abused by this fucking asshole for decades. Decades? Years. I don't know about decades, but definitely years. Definitely years. And now she has to... this game is a lot about reconciliation of conflicting emotions, right? Because she has to reconcile the fact that her abuser, this guy, Gregor Brante, is now dead. But she also has to reconcile with the fact that she has deeply religious beliefs and the fact that that Gregor's way of life was justified by the sort of religious structure of this world. So she, it's difficult because your mother turned to the religion of the twins, like everybody else in this setting, but turned to religion to find solace and comfort for her lot in life. But it is also that religion itself that provides the structure and the justification that enabled her to suffer such abuse in the first place. So that's rough, Like, everybody has their own coping mechanism, I guess, and now this world is pretty brutal. Plenty of suffering. When she is done, she briskly wipes her face like you did. She looks younger now. Her eyes sparkle. She smiles so brightly and so sincerely. You have not seen her like this for a long, long time. Mother comes closer and pats you on the head, fondly and gently. You rescued your brother and sister, saved them from a lesser death. Thank you, my son. Good for Lydia. Good for Lydia. She's been through so much. She deserves to be happy. Please remember this. None of this is your fault. This is my final life, and I promise to live it in joy. Good for her, yes. Exactly, Kathleen. She's been through a lot, and she doesn't deserve any of it. She's a good person. You hear the snorting of horses outside. Father is back from Eterna. Oh no, our wealth has gone down. Oh no, no, no. I don't really care about that. I don't really care about that. Alright. Grandfather's demise. Your grandfather, Sir Gregor Brante, left this world forever to meet the twin gods. Yeah. Good for Lydia, though. She's free now. The night of grandfather's death shook your family to the core. Yet, no matter how it happened, your grandfather, Gregor Brante, is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family, the Brante patriarch exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and all of you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, yet he cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stefan locks himself away in grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump at every sound that so much resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. And yet, the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. But there is yet one more thing that must be done. Final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Do we press F to pay respects, or do we press S to spit? Oh, no, no, no. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stefan, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles or those who may become nobles may join this ritual. There is a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father is the one who breaks the silence when you finally reach the door of the family crypt. Your grandfather built this crypt, and now he will be the first Brante to remain here in body forever. The first ever noble in our family. Well, you know what? It's sort of dark and depressing to think about this, but realistically, right? Realistically, Gregor's sense of perception got warped by this, but one of the things that you do as you grow and you have a family and, you know, you mature and then you become old and all of that stuff, one of the things that you do over the course of life, if you have a family, if you want to have a family, not everybody wants to, but if you have a family, is, you know, you build a legacy, right? You build a legacy. And Gregor was warped and obsessed with his desire to build a legacy for the Brante family, right? And so the idea that he built this crypt as part of like creating that legacy for the Brante family, because this is like, you know, this is where all the Brantes will be buried from now on, because he's the first in the line to become a noble. I think that that's fitting, right? I think that that's fitting that he built this crypt to establish a legacy of the Brante family, and he will be the first one to get buried in it. I think that that makes a lot more sense than having someone who is younger, in the younger generations, die, because, like, I know that Gregor Brante doesn't care, but it truly is a tragedy when, you know, when, like, people younger than you, you know, like your children or your grandchildren, if they unfortunately pass on before you, because you spend your entire life building a family together, building bonds, you know, creating a legacy, because you want people to pass on the memory. You want people, like in terms of your direct family, you want to leave something to your family so that your loved ones and the people that they will love in life, that they can live comfortably, that they can be happy, you know. And so if you have a situation where someone in the younger generation goes first, like, that's honestly pretty tragic. That's honestly pretty tragic, because it's like, for the older generation, like let's say Robert Brante, if one of the children died, you lose your child, right? But then it also calls into question, you know, like the purpose of your life, because you spend a lot of your life building up something that can be continued by your children. And I don't necessarily mean money, I don't necessarily mean nobility or anything like what's in this game, but just like bonds and the establishment of a family, people that you care for, people, you know, that you can rely on, people that you live with, and that sort of thing. And so I think that it's fitting that grandfather built this crypt to establish a legacy, or to as part of establishing a legacy, and that he is the first to be buried here. You know, I think that that's fitting, because if it was anybody else, that would be a tragedy. You know, and I'm gonna say Gregor Brandt dying, not a huge tragedy, personally, not a huge tragedy. It is our duty now to hold the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Brandt dynasty. Stefan perks up at father's words. His hands still clutch grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Whoa. Stairs carved of white stone lead you downward. Deep in the gloom of the crypt, atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before paying his final respects. Gregor Brandt, my father, has brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the Empire. He lived his life as if he had been born a noble. Oh, this passive-aggressive shot. You go, Robert, you go. And he never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Brandt family ennobled by the sword, so that our children might be of noble birth. The twins know I abided by my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets off a bitter chuckle as he says this. Stefan glances at father, then turns to glare at Nathan and you. Oh. Shut the fuck up, Stefan. I thought we were cool. After all, the two of you were born of father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember his disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved. Yet, we must all know that he fought for the future he believed in to the very end, and he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell with this sacrament of the nobility. Stefan still glares at father sullenly. His fingers still remain clutched around grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand and let your blood flow into this duct. Let your blood flow into this duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then ancestor and progeny will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing, more like a curse. For his blood flows first. That's a tongue twister. Not really. In our blood tide. He will respond to you. You are part of him, and he is part of you. With a quick motion, father slices his hand and holds a bleeding cut above a small opening in the wall. Then he hands the dagger to Stefan. Stefan cuts his hand without hesitation, as does father did. You receive the dagger next. The dagger's handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this trial, you will enter the Brandt blood tide. You, a lowborn child, a child who is still a commoner. If Dad wants me to do it, it's fine. Are you ready to claim your legacy as a descendant of the nobleman Gregor Brandt? The eyes of your father and brothers are upon you. Nathan, the youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. Wait, hold on. You record... ask for grandfather's blessing. Give the dagger... Well, I don't want to give the dagger back. I don't want to give the dagger back because there's like... Father and... the thing is, I still want to become a noble. So I'll ask for grandfather's blessing. We can't just bleed. You imagine? Like, we don't ask for grandfather's blessing. We just cut ourselves. You know? Edgy. Oh, no. I shouldn't make those jokes. No. Forget I said anything. We're just going to ask for grandfather's blessing. Before you dare enter his blood tide, you ask grandfather's spirit for his blessing. So we'll ask for the blessing. You grasp the dagger firmly, then quickly drag the blade across your palm. The fresh wound burns on your hand. Yet, before you allow your blood to join the blood of your father and elder brother, you ask your late grandfather aloud, will he give you his blessing to become part of him? Will he allow you to join the Brandt blood tide? You hear Stefan's indignant sigh. He does not say a word, however. Your words are a token of respect for grandfather and his will. Should you obtain his blessing, Stefan will not defy the late Brante patriarch. Then, suddenly, you all freeze. Each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. His voice is... Wait, what? You hear his voice for... Oh, fuck this. I should have just like said no. I don't want to listen to this guy, this ghost. His voice is loud as it rings into the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately. You had the courage to ask me for my blessing. Well, so be it. You deserve an answer. To me, you are not incorrigible. You are half lowborn, yet you may make a worthy nobleman one day. I shall allow you to join my blood tide. But know this, I'll be watching you always, and my shadow will follow you forever. Do not let me down, boy. What? What the fuck? Grandfather's voice falls silent. You glance at your father and brothers, astonished. Save for Stefan, everyone else is dumbfounded as well. Yeah, yeah. You have grandfather's blessing. You hold your hand above the opening in the wall. Your blood drips into the duct and flows further into the crypt as it combines with the blood of your father and your brother. Nathan's turn comes. Your younger brother hesitates. Father offers him help, but Nathan shakes his head. Finally, he makes a cut. He didn't ask for his blessing. Finally, he makes a cut, and Nathan's blood mixes with yours in the duct of the crypt. The ritual is complete. Stefan reverently kisses the grip of the grandfather's sword and places it in the alcove above the sarcophagus. Once all is done, you leave the crypt together. Cool fresh wind, blows in your face as you return to the surface. Father stops halfway to the carriage and hugs Nathan and you briefly. Now, your blood belongs to the dynasty of Sir Gregor Brante as well. Okay. I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever. Maybe we should call the Ghostbusters. I don't want to be haunted by a Gregor, but it's whatever. You join the blood tide of the Brante family. All right. The fugitive girl. Grandfather's passing and last respects have left a mark on the entire family. His words relayed from the hereafter keep echoing in your mind. You still do your best to avoid the memory of grandfather's last night and spend more time on the city streets with Thomas and your other classmates. Hey, Thomas. It's our boy. It's our bro. The sun is set. The pillar shines palely in the dark sky. Thomas is ill, so you decide to visit him and tell him the latest news. The streets seem oddly agitated tonight, full of horses, cloaked men, strange faces, and hushed voices. A young nobleman in a heavy embroidered cloak is walking back and forth, clutching at his sword nervously. There is a grimace of rage on his delicate blue face. He is an Archnean. You overhear voices. Sir Otten! The girl's not at home. We searched the house. Her parents swear she ran away from home too. They claim they wanted to bring her back. Dorius Otten. Just do whatever it takes. Turn this loathsome district upside down if you must. But bring my servant back to me. She's here. Sophia? Ran away from an Archnean? How could this be? There's only one place on the entire street where a person could hide. The abandoned Moral House, 4 houses away from yours. You head there. Tooru, please. You head there, doing your best not to attract attention. The lopsided house, built of yellow brick, has been abandoned for 20 years or so. You remember playing there as a boy. You glimpse a figure inside even before you enter. A pair of eyes glimmer in the dark. You would recognize them even after another 4 years. Sophia has grown up. She's almost an adult now, and her face is full of fear. She's not the easygoing girl next door that you remember. She finally recognizes you. What's going on here? Oh, I wonder what's going on here. Oh, it's you, Tooru. Be quiet. They're all looking for me. I ran away from the youngest Otten. I might be in for a lesser death here, but I'd rather die than spend another day in their slavery. I'm just a thing to him, just a toy to play with. Sophia winces and closes her mouth as she says this. There is a glint of bright yellow deep in her eyes. I ran to my parents. I told them all about the men I had to serve, and they went and alerted the Ottens. They don't want to be the target of their ire, but you You aren't going to tip them off, aren't you? Oh. Oh my... What the fuck is wrong with this setting? Why? Okay, Glitch. Do you like tea or coffee? If so, which is your favorite? Okay, so I do like tea. So like, I enjoy... Okay, so it depends on the situation, right? When I'm out with family, right? I do enjoy like a nice sort of like green tea, you know. It's nice, it's warm, it's good for you. So like you have like some nice green tea, some herbal tea and all of that sort of thing. But that's when I'm with my family. That's when I'm in like dinners and gatherings and that sort of thing. And part of the reason for that is, you know, just because it's like, you know, we're close to the water already, you know. We're close to the water already when I hang out with a bunch of other turtles and we're just messing around. Just messing around with my fellow family turtles, and we do like some nice warm tea because as cold-blooded animals, right? As cold-blooded animals, having the warm tea circulate throughout your body is quite nice. But if I am just like with my friends, or if I'm just if I am at work, then I actually do prefer coffee. And okay, so I'll tell you, like, I developed really, really bad habits when I was still in university. So when I was still in university, right, I had this really bad habit of getting a coffee every morning before my first lecture in the day. Because what I do is, you know, you go to the lecture and the lecture is 2 hours, but it's like at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something, and I'm still like half asleep, right? So every morning before I go to my first lecture of the day, I'd always have a coffee. And then what would happen is that the way I organized my schedule was that I had like a morning block, and then I had time for lunch, and then I had like a sort of like afternoon block. And then the morning block was usually lectures, and then you have like half an hour to 1 hour for lunch, maybe up to 2 hours, depending on the semester. And then in the afternoon, you had like the tutorial lessons and things like that. And so what I did was that I grabbed a coffee in the morning, and then I brought that to my lecture, and then I had lunch, and then I said, you know, I brought another coffee to my tutorials in the afternoon. And the way I justified it in my head was like, oh, I have a really big lunch and I'm going to be tired in the afternoon, so I need some caffeine to, you know, get me through it. So I ended up, for the longest time, I ended up having like 2 coffees a day, and it really was unhealthy. And then once I finished university and then started working full time, I had to like wean myself off of coffee, and it took like 6 months, I think. It took a decent amount of time before I stopped being addicted to coffee. And some of the places that I used to work at didn't help, because you had like free coffee machines and all of that stuff. And it's just like, oh, the temptation. If I'm tired in the morning, it's 9:30. I've got a whole bunch of things I need to do. Give me coffee, you know, because it was nice. Yeah, it's also quite warm, but like it picks you up, it perks you up, and, you know, it's just nice and smooth and all of that stuff. But now I drink a lot less, thankfully. I'm not addicted to coffee anymore. But yeah, if I'm not in a family setting, so the way I describe it is that if I'm with my family and if I have the option for coffee and tea, I drink tea. But if I'm outside of a family setting, then I'll drink coffee instead. And I don't really know why. I legitimately don't know why, but there we go. Hopefully that answered the question. If so, which is your favorite? Okay, so I do like mocha. I do like a very nice mocha. And the reason I like mocha is because one of the things that I really do like on the weekend, if I wake up early, is a good hot chocolate. You know, I really like a nice hot chocolate on the weekend if I wake up early. But you know, I also really like mocha because it's essentially just, you know, like mocha is like a halfway point between like a cappuccino and a hot chocolate, right? And so I really like mocha as my favorite type of coffee because cappuccino is pretty good, but then there are times when it's like, you know, it's like, it's a little too bitter. It's not even that bitter, to be honest. But like, there are times when I want something like a little bit sweeter, and that's when I really go for the mochas, because the mochas hit the nice. It hits like the perfect sort of in between where you can sort of feel like getting pepped up by the caffeine, but then you also get like the sweetness of like the chocolate, right? And so that's why I really like mocha. So that's probably my favorite, but I don't drink as much as I used to. However, if I would drink it, you know, I do drink it, but like not as much as I used to. But if I do drink it, that's what I would drink. So hopefully that answers the question. I witnessed the burial. How did it come to his death? What did I miss? Welcome back, JP. Welcome back. So what happened, right? What happened was that Sir Gregor died in the fire. So he lit the fire and he killed both Lydia and himself. But it was his final death. So Gregor suffered his true death, and then Lydia suffered a lesser death. So Lydia, our mother, came back, and then Gregor, he died, and he didn't come back. So that's why we have the burial. I ran to my parents. Right, this situation. Right. They don't want to be the target of their ire, but you aren't gonna. No, we're not gonna tip the buttons off. Poor Sophia, this poor girl. Iced latte for me. I bought a 2-liter Dare Ice coffee today. Wow, dare I say it, Kenjo? That's a lot of iced coffee. Dare I say it? Oh, actually, if we're talking about like iced coffee, I used to do this as well. Okay, so there are times in the past. There are times in the past where there are times in the past where I've had to like drive really long distances, and I find that iced coffee is really good for helping me with that. So like if I'm driving like for 5 hours, 10 hours, you know, overnight, that sort of thing, iced coffee is really, really good for that. I don't drink Dare myself. I actually don't like Dare too much, but I don't know, maybe Kenjo, you can tell me, what's your opinion on Icebreak? Because I tend to drink Icebreak as like my iced coffee of choice. Wait, the last thing I saw was the trial setting up and Gloria complaining she wasn't called as a witness. Okay, so you missed a bit more than I thought, JP. So, okay, so the trial went through, and then I decided on a coin flip to help out my father instead of help out Gloria, which really sucked, but it was necessary. And so the trial went smoothly. And then what happened, right? What happened after the trial was that the assailants, they got hanged and they suffered true death. And then we went back to the mansion, and Gregor Brante, grandfather, started to become senile and depraved and crazy. And what he did was he went one night to our mother's room and attempted to light the house on fire to kill us all, right? Because he was concerned that he would die his true death and face the twins, and he felt like he had sinned by not getting rid of us lowborn filth earlier. So he tried to murder us all. And in the end, what happened was that we were able to escape. Mother suffered a lesser death, and Sir Gregor Brante, he killed himself in the fire and suffered a true death, and that's why he's dead. Oh, it barely does anything for me. I need a 500 milliliter V to get a hit. Oh, energy drinks. You know, personally, you know, I mean, like, I'm not a huge fan of energy drinks, but you know, there are some energy drinks that are pretty good, you know. Monster energy drinks, not too bad, you know. And whenever I drink one of those, it's when I'm feeling that you know, when I'm Jack Packinator just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Welcome. But yeah, I do enjoy a good Monster energy drink, particularly when I'm playing Quake 3 Arena. No, actually, I'm like speaking honestly, I'm not a huge fan of energy drinks. I remember, okay, so this is another university story. I remember going in for an exam, and I did like overnight cramming, right? I did overnight cramming, and so what happened was that I actually couldn't sleep. I resolved myself to finish studying at like 1 a.m. and then get a decent night's sleep and then get myself ready for an exam that started at 10 a.m. But what happened was that I couldn't sleep whatsoever. It got to like 3 a.m. and like 4 a.m. And then at that point, at 4 a.m., I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm not going to go to sleep. So I just stayed up all night and continued to study. And then when it was like at 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. as I got ready to go to the university to get the exam done, or to go to the examination site to get the exam done, I started feeling really tired. And then I went ahead to the 7-Eleven nearby and then got myself some Red Bull because, you know, it gives me wings and all of that stuff. But I don't normally drink energy drinks. And I remember drinking that Red Bull. And look, guys, this was probably because I didn't get any sleep that night, because I literally stayed up all night studying because I couldn't get to sleep because I was nervous. I honestly felt like sick afterwards. I was like in the middle of like the exam, and like it worked. It worked because I was awake. I was awake because I wanted to throw up. I wanted to throw up the entire time. So I did not get tired. I did not get sleepy. I was wired because the moment that I finished my exam, I ran to the toilet and like, thankfully I didn't throw up. Thankfully I didn't throw up, but like I went to the toilet and I started gagging, and it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time. And so like after that, because I normally don't drink energy drinks to begin with, but after that experience, I was like, no, I'm never drinking an energy drink again. And I'm sure that the fact that it was an energy drink has less to do with it, and it's more to do with the fact that I stayed up all night, but it was just such a bad combination that I do not recommend it to anybody. I do not recommend it to anybody. So after that, never had an energy drink again. Oh. Okay, the barking and shouting are getting closer. Sophia's voice grows quiet. She runs off to the darkest corner of the house before you can answer. One of Otten's servants is so close that you can hear his cloak swishing against the ground. He notices something and calls for the others. There are more voices around you now. They approach the house from the yard and surround it. One of them seems particularly snappy, annoyed, and impatient. You've already heard this voice today. If you're in there, girl, you'd be wise to come out and quit wasting time. All will be forgiven and you'll go back to where you were. You know it, and if you don't, I'll drag you out by the hair. The hilt of the young Arknian's sword bashes at the door. He's about to lose his patience for good. Sophia hugs the wall in the dark, trying to stay still. She glances at you. What will you do? Your heart is racing. Can you act against an Arknian's orders? Do you have the gall to defy the mighty nobleman? Oh, we have more willpower now. Do we? No, we don't. I don't know. What is V? V is an energy drink. JP, V is an energy drink. We'll try to stop Otten. We'll try to stop Otten because, right? If we remember, Tooru Brante is he's a big simp. He sees a cute girl. Oh, there we go. Oh, I kneel. I must send you my Akasupa, Sophia. No, but right. If we remember, we suffered our last death trying to save Sophia. So at this point, we've already died for this lady. So, you know, what's another death? So we're going to try and stop Otten because as well, if we remember what's actually happening to Sophia, it's fucking awful. It is actually... And this is what I want to do. I actually want to help her flee, but we'll try to stop Otten instead. If we remember what Sophia is actually going through, it's awful and disgusting. You pull yourself together and walk slowly to the half-composed doorway. Sophia stays behind. The tall young Arknian stares you down, his condescending smile dripping with scorn. In your most assertive voice, you answer his question. He will find no fugitive girl in this house. What are you doing here, boy? I wasn't speaking to you. Out of my way! Otten needs no permission to enter, so he steps aside. You stand in his way. You've already assured the young Archnian there's no one else inside. You've done him a great service. What makes him doubt your words? Why, you lowlife, smack. How dare you stand in an Archnian's way? You must have lives to spare. Otten backhands you with immense strength. What? Enough to send you flying? The Archnian draws his sword. It rises into the air. But then one of his men shouts, "Sir, there she is!" The Archnian turns around and briskly walks away. Sophia used your distraction to climb out the window in the back. You jump to your feet and escape the house in the same way. Sophia's slight silhouette is gaining distance far ahead. One of Otten's men is chasing her down, ready to catch her at any moment. But then... What? The fuck? What? What? But then something unbelievable happens. Sophia lets out a dreadful scream and the air around her sizzles with golden sparkles. Otten's man falls to the ground, clutching... She's a witch? Clutching his head, Sophia freezes for a second as though uncertain of what she just did. What was that? Otten screams at her right next to you. So that's how it is, eh? The wench is a witch. Seize her. Magic? Sophia is a witch? Sophia's silhouette disappears down an alleyway. Otten's men give her chase, but they will never find her in the dark. Sprawling district. You watch her go. Will you ever see her again? The runaway girl becomes the talk of the district for an entire week. You overhear that Sophia managed to flee the city. The Ottens are furious. After this sudden disappearance, she disappears from your life. After this sudden appearance, she disappears from your life once more. You will not see her again until much, much later. Oh, what a bizarre turn of events. Oh, we are now 15 years old. We're now in our prime edgy teenager phase, guys. You are about to turn 15, just one step away from adulthood. Mother is acting anxious at dinner today, barely touching her food. You exchange glances with Gloria. She carefully tells you that she wants to go to the tailor. Mother shudders, her hands clenched into fists. What's going on? What's going on? No, don't you dare leave home today. I forbid it. That dirty heretic Photus is preaching his lies under the silver tree today. Twins willing, I don't want you to hear any of that. You and Gloria glance at each other again. Photus. He is a patriarch, the head of the clergy throughout the entire province. What? This is the first time you've heard Mother speak like this about a priest, especially such a high-ranking one. Wait a second. Once you leave the dinner table, Gloria comes to your room with a cunning expression on her face, like she's about to play a trick on someone. She has a plan. The two of you should sneak out of the house and go to the silver tree. Why is she like this? Why is she like this? You simply must hear the sermon for yourself. What's so bad about Patriarch Photus? Why does Mother hate him so much? You two are grown-ups now. Surely you have the right to know. Why is Gloria like this? You agree with your sister. Together, you sneak out from under your mother's watchful eye and hurry to the silver tree. The temple block is full of people from all ranks and estate. There is barely enough room for you to squeeze through the crowd. The crowd has gathered around the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests you climb up to the roof of a nearby building so you can hear and see everything better. And not a moment too soon. From the roof, you see a tall, silver-haired priest step onto the platform by the tree, dressed in the common black robe that looks far beneath his rank. Yet, he stands like a noble before the crowd. Behind his back is a banner flapping in the wind, the open book. This is the symbol of the new faith, the crowd whispers. The patriarch holds his hands up to the sky, and the entire temple block grows quiet. He begins his sermon, his vibrant voice rolling across the square. Photus speaks of a great mistake. We entrusted ourselves to the lots as the only way to fulfill divine providence in this world. But for all these years, the will of the twins has been interpreted for us by a single man, Prophet Izatius. The twins are ever watching from atop the shining pillar. Of this, We have, no doubt. But how can we so blindly believe that we truly follow their will by following the lots? Have we not seen the 3 lots of Azatius fail again and again to answer the question of how we ought to live our lives? Have we not seen people change their lot in life again and again without being smitten by divine wrath? Every person born, whether human or Archnean, lowborn or noble, must find their lot and their way to the gods on their own. From now on, we will seek the gods in the accounts of their own lives, in their own acts in this world, in their own words, as they echo within us. And, as we heed the voice of the twins within, we will find each their path for us on our own. The crowd at the Silver Tree listens to the Patriarch's speech in stunned silence. You glance at your sister. Her eyes glisten with tears as she hears Photis's words. Then, suddenly, a hoarse cry rises from the crowds. If there are no lots, does that mean the nobles are going to till the fields and the commoners are going to bear arms? The crowd begins to murmur. The Patriarch raises an arm and inhales, ready to answer. An odd figure leaps from the crowd onto the platform, a dirty beggar dressed in rags. A blade flashes in his hand. The blade slices. Blood starts spurting from Photis's throat. He slumps over and collapses. A dark brown puddle spreads across the platform where he had stood. He got assassinated. He got murdered. Gloria clutches her mouth to suppress a shriek. A few moments of stunned silence, and then the screams begin. The people are frantic. The temple guards try to restore order in the crowd, but to no avail. An old woman, dressed in an inquisitor's cassock, tries in vain to apply pressure to the Patriarch's wound. The nobles draw their swords. Dogs are barking. The crowd is pushing and shoving. Children are crying. The entire square by the tree is in chaos. From the roof, you see the moment when people start trampling each other, howling, praying, shouting. Gloria tugs on your sleeve. Time to go. You climb down from the roof and run. You return home without exchanging a word. Mother has been in her room all the while, so no one noticed your absence. Gloria locks herself in her room. You do not discuss the things you have just seen. They're too frightening. But your parents discuss every little detail of the blood-stained sermon over dinner. This is unbelievable! A patriarch murdered in plain sight! The gendarmes and the Archduke's guards have searched every corner of the slums, and the murderous beggar has disappeared without a trace. I can't even imagine a more gruesome crime. Photis has died a true death, never to return from the hereafter. But how? Why can't the Patriarch be reborn? He's so close to the twins. Such is the way of the world, my children. Once you are granted great power by the twins' will, there's no hope for you to come back, not even after the first of your deaths. Emperors, their powerful vessels, heads of great Archnean dynasties, patriarchs of the church, none of them are destined to be reborn. Photis is gone forever. I fear for his soul. It was lost in doubt. Will the twins accept him upon the peak of the pillar? We must pray for the patriarch, children. Let us hope he managed to return to the true old faith before the moment of his passing. Seems pretty unlikely. Considering what we saw, seems pretty unlikely. But there's a little hope for that. Ah. Oh. Okay. Okay. Interesting events, though. Interesting events. Tomorrow, you turn 16. According to Imperial law, you'll be a full adult. Your time at Sir Tybor's school has ended. You have studied enough to apply for the Imperial College and learn the judge's trade there. Hey, yeah. You are to travel to Eterna tomorrow. Your friend Thomas will go there with you to try his luck in the Imperial capital. Mother and father prepare you for the long journey. Remember, son, there's only one goal for you. Uno goal. One goal. One goal. You must become a student at the Imperial College. Your teachers dragged you through all those books for a reason. You have the knowledge and fervor to be ennobled by the mantle, as I was, and as my late father was before me. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one to write the name Brante in the blue book, and ensure that your children's children will be noble by birth. Then Mother speaks to you carefully. There's worry in her eyes. But Robert, there may be another path for our son. Stefan, your firstborn, was born a noble. He will surely earn the title for the entire Brante family. Your second son bears the favor of the twins. For him... Do we? I don't know about that, Lydia. For him, the path of the priest is a worthy calling, no less than a nobleman's sword. They have been arguing about your future for a while now. Still, she would never defy the will of a nobleman and her husband. You smile at them both, trying to placate them. Gloria laughs quietly behind their backs. I would too, to be honest. Just don't become a snoot like Stefan and you'll do just fine. Thanks, Gloria. Thanks, Gloria. Keep being you. Mother chides Gloria for that. You wink at your sister. Nathan has become downcast all evening. He's barely touched his dinner. When everyone gets up from the table, he suddenly rushes over to you to embrace you. Oh, bro. I'll look after the family, Nathan. Be a good kid. Please don't go, Tooru. Can't you stay? I don't know what I'm going to do without you. You tussle his hair in response. There is no way you can stay now, you say, but when you come home, and you will come home, you'll tell him all about your stories and bring him a special present from Eterna. This is it. All your lessons have... Lesson learned. Oh my god. All your lessons have been learned. All your things have been packed for the road. You will leave the family home tomorrow. Tonight is your last night at home before your departure. You will walk through the rooms one last time. The sitting room where the mother used to read you fairy tales. The library where Gloria used to spend all her time. Father's study, which you only entered on special occasions. And the backyard where you taught Nathan to build towers one summer. The whole place feels so familiar, so dear to you. It feels like home. You lived here for 16 years. Will you ever return? It is getting late. Everyone is already in their rooms, but you hesitate. Mother, father, Gloria, Nathan. It will be a long time before you see them again. Who will you spend your last few hours at home with? So, whoever gives me willpower, that's who I'll spend my time with. Whoever gives me willpower. No, okay. So, I actually want to spend time with Gloria or Nathan. And there are two reasons for that. So, like, with Mother... Yeah, okay. And the father, okay. Like, you can get nobility points for spending time with father. But I think, based on the actions that have happened during this run so far, I want to either spend time with Gloria and Nathan, or Gloria or Nathan. So one of my siblings. And the reason why I want to spend time with Gloria is because I still feel really bad about what happened in the trial, where we had to sort of, like, deny her existence. And, like, Tooru... Like, the character and me, Tooru, myself, feel really, really bad about that. And, you know, it's like we had to make a difficult decision in order to ensure that the people who assaulted her met justice. But at the same time, what we did was not right. You know, what we did was not right. So, you know, we want Gloria to understand, you know, we want Gloria to, like, just understand that we're there for her, you know, that we care about her and that she is family. Yeah, that she is actually family. But then I also want to spend time with Nathan, right? Tooru also wants to spend time with Nathan because out of everybody in this family, Nathan feels like he's going to be lost and without purpose once Tooru goes. Because for the course of the entire game so far, he's always been seen as like a younger brother or as like a sidekick to Tooru. And he doesn't really seem to have like a strong will of his own. And so spending time with Nathan, doing what we can as an older brother, building him up and getting his self-confidence up, I think is also important. I think is also very, very important because this game is a suffering. The family members you don't talk to will be true to... Don't say that. Don't say that, Rock. That's so sad. That's so sad. Oh, okay. Okay, I guess we'll spend time with Nathan. We'll spend time with Nathan. Just because we get the willpower for this. And I need willpower for the next phase of life, right? So we'll spend time with Nathan. Because, well, one, we want to level up our willpower. But also because it is important that Nathan understands why we are going. And it's important for Nathan to try and, you know, establish a life for himself. He can't just keep acting as Tooru's sidekick, because when Tooru has to go, which is like right now, then what's Nathan going to do? Like, what kind of aspirations does Nathan have for himself? What kind of life does Nathan want to live for himself? We have to ensure that Nathan is on the right path, and, you know, that he is able to live a comfortable and healthy life for himself as well, right? We need to make sure that our brother, we need to look after our little brother, guys. We need to look after our bro. And also because it gives us willpower. There we go. Nathan is already in bed, snoring. You approach your brother quietly and pat him on the head. He is startled, but starts smiling with joy when he realizes it's you. Hi, hey, can we go outside or something? I need your help with something. You creep silently downstairs. The air outside is damp, and drops of dew glisten in the night. Nathan drags you towards the bushes. A spotted kitten looks at you from the bushes with sad eyes. You see a bowl of water and some scraps of food next to it. Look, he ran into our yard today. See, he's got a broken paw. We need to save the poor kitten. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. All right, yeah, sure. You pat Nathan on the head. Together, you sneak the poor animal into the house and take him into the storage closet. Then you close the storage closet and begin the treatment. If anyone is clumsy in your family, it is Nathan, yet his hands are unusually accurate and calm as he binds the kitten's paw. Oh, that's good. You start chatting as you treat the kid, and as you think aloud about living in the capital and working towards your goal. Nathan strokes the poor animal's wet fur. He sighs. It's tough for me, you know? Thinking about being a grown-up, I'm not much of anything even now. I wish I could be like you. You sure know where you're going to be and who you're going to be. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You shrug. No, I mean it. I can't be like that. They say I'm going to study too and go to a turn and become a priest or go to the college, but there's no way I can make it there. Does that mean there's nothing else out there for me? You'll be leaving soon and I'll be all alone here. You'll write to me, I know you will. And you'll come back one day. But I'm scared. Scared I might lose my way when you're not around. You'll come back, but it'll be different. You'll be different. And I'll be different too. You swear to Nathan that even if everything changes, you'll always be his brother. You'll always be there to offer him advice and support, and you have no doubt that he will find his way in life. It just takes time to find yourself. Sometimes more than you might expect. That's very true, actually. That is a very true. Like, we even see it today. Where people go through high school, and then they go through university, and then once they get their degree, once they graduate, they realize that what they graduated in, what they have their university degree in, is not necessarily what they actually want to do, right? And you find a lot of people that come out of university or high school, like, they don't really know what they want to do with their lives. And so I think that's a very, like, it's a very salient, the right word here? I don't know, maybe. It's a very salient message, right? That finding yourself is important, but it's not going to be easy, and sometimes it takes time. You know, you just have to be patient with yourself and, you know, try to tread a path that will allow you to have like a sort of sustainable living while you find what your passion is and while you find what your purpose is in life. The sun is about to rise. You should rest before the long trip, but you are not tired at all. Nevertheless, it is time for bed. Before you leave, Nathan hugs you again. Promise, please promise you'll come back, Tooru. You swear to him that you will. You get into bed and fade away into a gentle, happy sleep. They'll be waiting for you back here, no matter what. Very wholesome moment, though. Oh, I wonder if veterinarian is a profession in this setting. Because, like, Nathan seems to be pretty good at it. You leave the family home for a long time. Your future awaits you in Eterna, the capital of the Empire. Ooh. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against the cobblestone count the seconds before your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house and recall your childhood spent there in the nearby yards at your school and on the winding streets of Anazot. You clashed with the greater world around you, but you survived. I lived, bitch. You felt the tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. Yeah, we live in that rough life. You explored the city of your birth and learned something of its past. You witnessed first-hand events that will be remembered by history for all time. All of this is yours, now and forever. You saw death, lesser death, followed by rebirth, and the true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death, lying in wait to strike the unaware like a beast, stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace, lit by the flickering fire of the lamp, the Archduke's cavalry trampling those who stood in their way, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age, and yet you live on. You have a friend who has been by your side all these years. Thomas taught you many things: how to take a hit, how to keep your word, and how to remain true to your own self. And now, Thomas is walking to the same carriage as you are with a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Ahead of you is a long trip towards the capital and to adulthood. For the first time, you'll be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? Ooh. Ooh, look at all of this. Nice, nice, nice. We finished this chapter, guys. We finished this chapter. And if we take a look at like all the things here, we're definitely very, very noble. We're definitely very, very noble. We want to make our father proud, and we want to be able to do things for our family. We want to become a noble, because that's the thing, right? That's the motivation of this Tooru and this campaign, is that we want to become a noble because we want to do right by our family and allow them, and allow my sister, and allow my brother, and allow my mother to live a life that they have been denied due to their lot, right? We want to do the best that we can by our family, because to Tooru, family is everything, you know? And that's important, because like a lot of people are screwed by this world, by how things are. But unfortunately, friends, we live in a society, right? We live in a society. So we have to make do with the cards that we are dealt. I died twice. Well, we're speed running this life, guys. We've already died twice. Speed run. Suffering any percent. All right. So I think like I'm going to press continue, and we'll see if there's like any kind of like thing that I can read.
Leaving my hometown behind,
let's watch this.
I set out for the capital of the empire. There, I would discover my role in society.
Oh. Okay. I thought it would be a bit longer than that. And allow your grandfather's ghost not to haunt your life. You must be noble. Exactly, Rogue. Exactly, Rogue. Gotta make sure grandfather's proud, even though I don't really care. I don't really care about grandfather. You just don't want his ghost. Just don't want his ghost to haunt us, right? Don't want his ghost to haunt us. Because we don't have any vacuum cleaners to get rid of him, right? There's no vacuum cleaners in this setting, right? So unfortunately, we can't, you know, snap him away like Ghostbusters or Luigi's Mansion. All right, so I think, wait, let's read a paragraph, and then I'm gonna finish. The driver flicks at the reins. The carriage slowly sways as it starts to move away from your home. You stick your head out the window and wave goodbye to your family. Nathan is running after the carriage with Thomas's younger brother in tow, tears glistening in their eyes. It hurts to leave your home behind. Ahead lies Eterna, the imperial capital. You have often read about it and heard stories from Father and Stefan. It is a city that surpasses Anazot enormously in terms of size, age, wealth, and beauty. But what is it really like? What kind of life awaits you there? What will you learn there? And where will your actions take you? You pass the old walls of Anazot. Somewhere within them is the old fortress you and Thomas built together out of old wooden planks, now left to the care of... Oh, that's so cool! That's so cool! Like you and the boys building your wooden forts, and then now that you're moving up in the world, now that you're going to the capital, you leave it to your younger brothers. It's like, Nathan, hold the fort for me while I'm gone. That is so cool. I love that. That makes me really happy. You two are adults now. Perhaps the fortress will crumble now abandoned, or perhaps your brothers will continue what you started. Who knows? I have faith, right? Nathan is a good brother. He's a good kid. I'm huffing that hopium really hard right now. He will build on what we started and create the biggest fortress you've ever seen. And when we get back, it's going to be a city in and of itself. You just wait and see. You look down at your hands, knuckles covered in scars from street antics, fingers stained with ink. Mother gave you a cross to wear away from home, and now you can feel its warmth against your chest. Your family counts on you, even though they all wish a different future for you. But they are behind you now, in and Azot. From this point on, only you will decide which road you take. A fortress city... You know what, Roke? That would be pretty cool. A fortress for the cats. That would be nice. You know, that would be really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh my god. Then what would we call it though? What would you call it? Like, you would call it like Castle Kitty or something like that, you know? Castle Cat? The Feline Fortress. Hey, now that's not a bad name. Feline Fortress. This is the journey you prepared for throughout your entire childhood. Ahead of you lies many years in the capital. Years that will determine your fate and your place in society. Ooh, look at these stats. Promising, inquisitive, noble. Yo, that one's good. It has alliteration. Thank you, Jeppy. I like alliteration. So these are all like the stats that I've built up in my childhood, right? Ooh, oh, so yeah. So the previous stats all combined together to create new stats. So diplomacy. Oh no, I'm still naive. Manipulation. Theology. Valor. Mediocre fighter, guys. Scheming. So Tooru is actually coming off as a very straightforward and honest person. He's bad at lying, he's bad at manipulating, he's bad at scheming. He seems he seems to be a little inarticulate as well. Alright, here we go, continue. Alright, so I'm going to finish my little stream here because I think we've come up to a nice stopping point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop over to here and load up, say hello. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day or evening and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I wanted to play Monster Hunter Stories 2 a little bit, but I want to do a little bit of maintenance stuff and a bit of leveling because I feel like I'm probably a bit too underleveled right now in order to do like the main story. So I'm going to play a little bit of that off stream over the weekend, and then maybe I'll come back to it during the week or something. But for the time being, I'm going to play Sir Brante, and I'm going to play probably a bit of Control as well. And yeah, just watch out for Twitter. I will post whenever I stream then, and I will start doing schedules again, guys. I will get back to a consistent schedule, I promise. Sort of. I promise I'll try to get back to a consistent schedule. And that schedule, spoilers, is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So 4 days a week. We're going back to streams 4 days a week, guys. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And I'll leave myself the option to stream on Friday and Saturday, and we'll do like a little bit of like a unplanned stream or a guerrilla stream, if you will. You know, on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But the consistent streams will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And the reasoning is because I want to have a good block of gaming related streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And right now those games is like Sir Brante, Control, and Monster Hunter Stories 2. And I'm hoping that in the next week or so, I'll be able to start beating those games and then we can cycle new games in. But then on Sunday, I want to start doing different streams. And so, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. What I will be doing is I will be doing a stream where I test out the 5600G APU. And the reason that that's important is because I know that the PC market right now for like buying components and graphics cards especially is really, really bad. It's horrible. It's actually probably the worst it's been in 15 years, 20 years, maybe the worst it's been ever to buy a graphics card right now. And the 5600G is a combined CPU and GPU. And what that allows you to do is that allows you to play games on very basic settings and basic resolutions, but you don't need to buy a graphics card for it. And so what I want to do is I want to play a few games with it, and then we'll see how it handles, you know? So it might be like sort of, you know, it might be informative, right? It might be informative and it might be a little fun because I'll be playing games that I normally don't play on that stream. And so I think the first game I'm going to try out just for stability and all of that, we're going to be playing Hitman 3, guys. We're going to be playing a little bit of Hitman 3. Maybe in future weeks we can play a little bit of Apex or something along those lines. Maybe I'll play... I haven't really decided yet, but I do want to spend Sundays doing different things to what I do during the week. So what I want to do is during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have our, you know, gaming streams, good 2 to 3 hour blocks where we go through games, I do all this commentary and all of that stuff, and hopefully you enjoy it, you know. And on Sunday, we'll do something a little bit different. And the first thing we'll be doing is testing out the 5600G APU. And we will be doing that with a little bit of Hitman 3. And I'll like, because Hitman 3 is like a very chill game, I've beaten it already. So spoiler alert, I'm not new to the Hitman games. I've already played through the Hitman games. So I can approach them very comfortably. You know, so there'll be a lot more chatting, there'll be a lot more discussing, maybe I'll do like longer streams and that sort of thing. So please look out for that. I will have details on Twitter. I will put it on the schedule once I start doing them again, and I should start doing them again this weekend. So I haven't got any planned streams yet, but please look out on the Twitter. It's in my about page because I will post before I go live every time. What we're going to do... Is there anybody that we can raid right now? Actually, hold on a second. Let's see. Okay. So what we can do is we can... By the way, this is not at all influenced. This is not at all influenced by the fact that she recently subscribed to the channel, but... we are going to raid our friend Neko. And the reason we're going to raid Neko... Wait, hold on. Is she even streaming at the moment? Hold on. I think Neko should be streaming, right? Right. Yeah, Neko is streaming. So we will be raiding our friend Neko. And she is currently playing Guild Wars 2 Raid. So if you're interested at all in Guild Wars 2, especially if you're interested in knowing what the end game of Guild Wars 2 looks like, then, you know, give her a follow, give her a watch, and ask her questions, because she loves that. She loves answering questions in chat because she is a top tier player. You know, if you ever wanted to know how good she is, then let her know that Tooru told you guys that Neko is within the top 0.1% of players in the game, right? So she is extremely skilled at the game. And, you know, ask her questions, say hello, and do all of that good stuff. But I want to thank you guys for coming along. I don't have any more scheduled streams for this week, but I'll thank you so much for the sub, JP. Thank you for the sub. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I don't have any more streams planned this week, but check the Twitter because I may decide to stream anyway. Probably Control, maybe more of Brant. But really, guys, thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciate it. From Tooru to you, thank you. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all around next time. Yay!
Oh, we did it, guys. We did it.
That's not what...
We stopped
Okay,
the evil
you know
rays
what?
and we
You know
made
what?
a new
That's
friend.
not what I wanted to go for.
Fantastic.
But
I'm just gonna-
we can just do
I don't
this.
think there's
So
anything
I've got
actually
like
here
a
to
nice
pick up.
little scene for when I want to go BRB.
Yeah, there's nothing
and then
there.
it's got
Alright,
like
there's nothing
clips on
there.
my YouTube
So
channel.
there's
So
no point going through all of that.
If you want to check out
We
my
can
YouTube
just
channel,
make our way
it's Tooru
back to
channel.
town.
Right, there we go.
Okay,
I
wait.
keep
I'm gonna try
stream
and find
archives.
the-
Most
there
of
was
my
like a catavan
streams
in here
are
from
archived
memory.
on YouTube in
So if we can
1080p,
get the catavan, yes. Here we go.
60 FPS, like
We can get
higher
the catavan,
quality
we
than
don't
what
have
the
to worry
Twitch
about, like,
streams
the
are,
geyser
because
stuff.
it's easier to record than it is
welcome
to
to
stream.
our burrow.
And I also edit
Beeline
and make
burrow.
my
Here we
own
go.
clips.
And then they got
you
the
know,
catavan
there's
on
not a
the
whole
side.
lot there right now, but I'm hoping to do more pre-recorded and edited content in the future. So look forward to that.
Oh my
But
God,
for
the way
now,
you get
guys,
dumped
take
like that
care of
is
yourselves,
very
and I hope to
amusing.
see you around next time.